New York City's new $25 billion neighborhood, Hudson Yards, is almost complete. Its centerpiece will be a 7,500 square foot observation deck, the highest outdoor observation deck in the Western Hemisphere. And building it has been no easy task.
The hardest part about building the observation deck, which sounds exceedingly obvious, is there's nothing underneath it. And we had all of this work to do at an elevation of 1,131 feet. So led to us deciding to build this like a big jigsaw puzzle and assemble 15 modules the size of small yachts off-site in Italy.
The pieces, when assembled, weigh 765,000 pounds or 383 tons.
We all stepped back and we looked at an observation deck that was upside down and sitting on solid ground and said to ourselves, how are we going to take that apart and put it up in New York?
The deck was shipped 4,283 miles across the Atlantic Ocean. The real challenge, however, was the 10 short miles from the port of New Jersey to the construction site.
When we arrived in a port in New Jersey with the modules, taking them across the Hudson River and getting them onto the West Side Highway, shutting down traffic, removing street signs and traffic lights, and that last leg of the journey, I think, was the toughest part. Once we got them onto the site, we had months of pre-planning to make sure that they would be hoisted safely into position. Getting them through the streets of New York was definitely the most challenging part of the equation.
Each piece required 2 cranes working simultaneously to be put into place. Furthermore, the whole deck had to be built slightly higher than its final resting position, a guessing game with very expensive consequences.
We built the tip 4 inches high, and the reason for that is that as we poured concrete, install the granite pavers, and have each successive portion of the loading that gets applied, it's like a fishing rod, it starts to come down. And so trying to judge how high we should set it so that we end up with a level observation deck at the end was part science, part art.
The observation deck, called Edge, is set to open in 2020 and will feature a floor window where patrons can look down 1,000 feet on the streets below. It's attached to one of the 6 skyscrapers in Hudson Yards, all of which had to be built over 30 functioning train tracks.
The buildings aren't constructed on solid ground. They're constructed over a platform that was built over an active rail yard. And all the while, trains are moving back and forth. The trees that you see throughout the plaza, they all live in an engineered soil with water-cooled roots so that the heat generated in the yard below doesn't cause the trees to always think that it's summertime.
The new neighborhood will literally be a city within a city, with a school, shops, restaurants, apartments, a hotel, office space, and more. New York estimates that Hudson Yards will generate roughly $500 million in taxes every year and create 55,000 jobs. The entire neighborhood should be complete by 2025.